Tab podcast where culture meets chaos. I'm your highly blessed and favorite and a little bit messy host, Lauren Dom, aka Lauren Monroe, aka the motherfucking Dom Dada, aka I fuck your mommy and your daddy. What's going on, y'all? Happy Friday. We have made it through another week, child. I hope that you all are doing well. Between the mess and the music and the movies, I have to say, this week was kind of jam packed, and I'm happy about it. Okay, I see that people are keeping busy. People are still being a little messy, but nonetheless, we have a great episode ahead. Thank you to my first and my last time listeners. You know, today is all about the simple shit, right? The shit that makes you feel good, the shit that makes you want to go into the weekend just a little happy. So enough of all of that. Let's just go ahead and get into the shit that y'all came here for, which is not the mess, because I know that y'all love being some messy ass bitches. Now, getting into TV and movies, it looks like Ryan Murphy has announced that American Horror Story newest season 13, will be a continuation of, I think, season 3, which is Coven, and I believe Asylum might be episode, like, I mean, not episode, but like season, ooh, like season 4 or 5 maybe. But I will say this: American Horror Story is definitely one of my favorite shows. All right, I personally, unpopular opinion, I personally don't think that Coven was all of that. I'm probably in the 1% of people who believe that, but for me, Coven just really doesn't do it for me. I personally prefer Asylum over Coven, but I did tell myself, because season 13 is coming out soon, bitch, I just need to go ahead and get in. I just need to do a full rewatch. Now, the latest seasons that they have been dropping, I will say from seasons 9 through what was 8? Oh, hold on. So the order of American Horror Story goes: season 1, which is Murder House. I think number 1 definitely does it. Season 2 is actually Asylum, which I enjoy. Season 3 is Coven. Season 4, Freak Show. I know that a lot of people hated Freak Show, but personally, I think that Freak Show was actually cool. I loved Hotel. Roanoke is definitely one of those. One Roanoke is definitely one of those seasons where it's either you like it or you like really hate it. There's really no in between with it. And then seasons 7 through 12 is where shit gets a little like iffy for me. So we have Cult, Apocalypse, 1984, double feature, NYC, and season 12, which is Delicate. I personally am excited for season 13 because we have all our OGs back. This might actually be the last season of American Horror Story, which I'm kind of sad about. But nonetheless, I'm super excited. So shout out to Ryan Murphy. It looks like we still have more drama going on with our Real Housewives of Atlanta stars. Again, make sure that y'all are checking out Real Housewives of Atlanta every Sunday. Of course, it just came out. Their first episode just dropped last week. So make sure y'all tune in. I've been seeing mixed reviews about the child, but nonetheless, Real Housewives of Atlanta star Drew Sidora has been ordered to vacate Georgia home that she shares with her husband Ralph Pittman. If you know, then if you was watching the show, you basically know that they was living in that big ass house together, basically going through this divorce. But Ralph was living in the basement, and Drew was like basically living on the upper floor. But Ralph couldn't come to the upper floor unless like he had permission or something like that. But bitch, clearly he could be anywhere he want in the house now. Um, so she has to basically move out the house amid divorce. Plus, Ralph is also given primary custody of children during the school year. A judge has ordered Drew Sidora to vacate the Georgia home that she shares with Ralph by May 31st. Court documents state that due to the current financial circumstances of the parties, the two will continue splitting household expenses until Drew officially moves out. It says, if you recall, Drew and Ralph actually filed dueling divorce pensions back in March of 2023, and things quickly turned tense. Drew previously claimed she needed out of the marriage due to continued blatant respect and mental abuse. She also accused Ralph of cheating. When it comes to their children, the two will share joint custody. However, Ralph, who currently lives in the home's basement, has been rewarded primary custody during the school year. He also is allowed to go upstairs to help get the kids ready for school. Drew will have parenting time on alternating weekends starting in August. The custody decision reportedly came after concerns about the kids having excessive school absences while in Drew's care, as she previously had primary custody. Despite the last ruling, the divorce isn't finalized yet. A rep for Drew told TMZ that the case is still actively being litigated and noted that the judge's second temporary order is just temporary and doesn't reflect the final outcome of the case. Um, I will say Ralph does give like manipulative vibes. Like you can really see like on the show, you can tell there were some issues going on. Like bitch, you definitely need to be treated better. But at the same time, the fact that he was able to get primary custody and get the house, something a little fishy about that. But also what I think about this is the fact that men love to sit here and be like, oh, divorce only is like helps the woman. I feel as though it really just depends on the state that you're in. Because some states, bitch, divorce or like child support cases, 9 times out of 10, they're gonna side with the man. And I think in Georgia, 9 times out of 10, when it comes to divorce, depending on what it is, bitch, 9 times the niggas. I haven't heard too many bad stories out of Atlanta. Like, of course, we hear about women getting divorced or whatever, and they winning like all of this money. But essentially, sometimes the niggas be winning. Like, I'm not mad at it, bitch. But hopefully, they work it out. Hopefully, Drew can find her a new place. Them Bravo checks need to be paying for something, child. Like you I wish you all the best. I can't speak on that. Anyway, it's like Mortal Kombat 2 dropped its trailer and it's coming to our screens May 8th. Have y'all seen Mortal Kombat yet? I actually went to the movies to go see the first one, which I wasn't mad at it, so I'm actually excited to go see the second one. Yeah, I think we can make that like a little date between us cousins. New Tubi documentary is getting a lot of attention. America's Worst Nightmare is already turning heads. It says the doc is now streaming on Tubi, and it features a Brian Nichols speaking out for the first time in 21 years. It says back in 2005, Nichols went on trial for rape when he overpowered a deputy inside an Atlanta courthouse, took her weapon, and went on a deadly rampage. He killed a judge, a court reporter, and a sheriff's deputy before escaping. While on the run, he also murdered an ICE agent, then later kidnapped a woman during the multi state manhunt that had Atlanta on lockdown for nearly 26 hours before he was finally caught. Now he's, I guess, telling his side of the story. Um, that is kind of crazy. Like, I Chad, do we want to sit there and watch it? Like I've never heard of the story, mind you. When it happened, I was all of 5, and it happened in another state. So there's that. But the fact that you literally like, what is there to what is there to really speak about? Like, is he trying to say like he was set up, like the government tried to, make him crazy or whatever the case is? Like certain stuff like this, it's just like, why are we giving this man a platform? Why? Like I get like we want to know the scoop or whatever, but it's still like why, you know? Anyway, moving on to music. Trick Daddy over the past weekend was supposed to perform at an AKA conference, but I guess it was cut short due to disrespect. It's crazy. So Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated South Atlantic region is addressing what is called an inappropriate performance by rapper Trick Daddy during its 73rd regional conference. In a statement to attendees, the organization said Trick Daddy had been contracted to perform a specific set of songs following its Step and Stroll competition on Friday night. According to the statement, multiple meetings were held with the artist and his team to outline expectations around attire, language, and song selection. However, the sorority says those guidelines were not followed during the performance. A video from the event actually showed the rapper using explicit language and attendees actually leaving in the middle of the performance. Mind you, 9 times out of 10, the people at that conference was probably older as well. Like y'all have to remember, some of them are like 60 and above. I don't even want to say 70 and above. Okay, they don't want to hear that shit. And the fact that y'all really booked Trick Daddy and thought Trick Daddy was going to follow the rules. Now, I did see a video that supposedly Uncle Luke was there too. I don't know what type of freaky dicky type of shit that y'all had going on, but it sounded like a kinky ass celebration to me. I'm just saying, Uncle Luke and Trick Daddy, and you really thought like, oh, we want you, but we have to like nitpick at every like. What's the purpose of that? Why don't you just go get somebody who's like less explicit? Like, why are you going out your way to book people that you know don't essentially represent your brand and then trying to change them? That's what don't make sense to me. And then Trick Daddy, why would you sit there and agree to the terms and then get on stage and act the ass? We can't expect nothing from Trick Daddy. We can't expect nothing less. I think this shit is funny as fuck. I think that the AKAs. It's I think I need to reevaluate y'all performance selections next time because that don't make no fucking sense. I'm just it don't make no goddamn sense. You literally Trick Daddy. You don't know man look the bitch that I did. What? Really? Trick Daddy, the one who was walking around the club talking about let's eat each other out. Trick Daddy, who also is the one who said he likes to get his ass ate. Y'all really thought he was going to get on that stage and do what? A clean version of his songs? I don't even know if that man knows what being clean is. Okay, hey, at least they did get somebody who did agree to the terms and conditions. I'm excited about. Well, I'm not excited, but I'm happy for them on that. Uh anyway, moving on to new music that has dropped. So it looks like Don Toliver has dropped a remix to Tuition with Little Baby. Not gonna lie, I heard it and I didn't like Little Baby's verse. Sorry. Kanye dropped a surprise album over the weekend called Bully, and it reaches #1 on Apple and Spotify. He is also planning to headline a few festivals, but I guess not too many people are happy about that because of his previous comments. I think that shit is the funniest shit in the world. Brands are basically backing out of the festivals that Kanye is highlighting simply because of the comments he made about the Jews or whatever. But it's funny because the Jews, the gays, and all of that, they stand on business. Bitch, if you talk shit about me, I have no reason to support you. And if you support somebody I don't like, then bitch, I have no reason to do business with you, which is understandable. Why black people can't do the same? Why we always gotta be so accepted and loved? Anyway, brands like Pepsi, Rockstar Energy, and even PayPal withdrew their sponsorship with Wireless Festival after hearing Kanye was headlining. Ye also has been denied permission to enter the UK, so the festival is basically now canceled and Ye can't even perform. So not only did y'all just back out, but bitch, y'all got the festival canceled and now he really can't perform. And that is kind of crazy, but I mean, hey, when you talk shit sometimes, y'all have to realize freedom of speech does not mean freedom of consequences. There it is. T.I.'s new single, Let 'Em Know, becomes the first single released by any artist in 2026 to be certified gold. Shout out to T.I. I will say all the old heads love that song. Bitch, everywhere I turn around, it's an old head bumping that shit. Like, okay, this y'all shit now, huh? Period. The baby drops a new video for Don Julio Lemonade. don't really care. Sway Lee and Janae Aiko dropped their new music video for their song Mural, which is on the Same Difference album that we talked about last week from Sway Lee. It looks like Mona Leo is doing well after losing an ovary and a fallopian tube after an emergency surgery. She's out the hospital and she says she's ready to get back on stage. And I think she said she's actually doing some shows this month. So, or a show maybe. It's also the end of the month. So I wonder what type of show she's going to do. But shout out to Mona Leo for feeling better. I hold on. Mona Leo is not only a Taurus, but bitch, we literally have the same birthday. Me, her, and Kaylani have the same birthday. Shout out to my girls. One thing about Taurus is we are, especially the April. I don't think people fully realize that April Taurus really be going through some detrimental shit. Bitch, we be going through the worst shit in the world and still come back on top. I just love that for us. I love my Taurus girlies. So again, shout out to Mona Leo. I'm glad that you're feeling better. Hopefully we get new music and hopefully you stepping on that stage soon because we the people deserve you. The people need you and that's about it. Also speaking of doing shows, it looks like Usher and Chris Brown are going on a R&B tour. Raymond and Brown. Uh I'm just I'm not gonna say too much, because this is the thing, right? I'm like super iffy when it comes to Chris Brown and Usher, right? Like, of course, we know the background of Chris Brown, and I'm not just talking about the Rihanna situation. I think because y'all are the only ones who think about the Rihanna situation, and I think about the situation with fucking Frank Ocean. Bitch, I think about the situation with him and Drake. Bitch, I think about the situation with him and Karuchi. I think about I could fucking keep going. I also think about how Usher basically always is somehow, some way just backing up abusers. You know, the shit that he's done with Diddy. I've heard him say some things about R. Kelly, you know? So it's like that part of me, I guess it's like the super woke part of me is like, ew, fuck them niggas. But the like super musically inclined me is like, oh my God, this is the verses we've been looking for. Actually, this is the verses y'all been looking for because for me personally, I still don't think that Usher and Chris Brown is a good matchup ever. Because this is the thing, right? Usher has albums that Chris Brown doesn't. I'm sorry, I say all the time, Chris Brown makes wonderful hits, but he does not have a classic album. And if you sit here and try to tell me the classic album might be Fame, you have to think the hits are carrying that album. I'm just saying, if you got to sit here and drop a 40 song album and only 5 to 10 songs on that 40 song album is good, do you see the problem here? You know, but essentially, I am excited about this. I hate that everybody is going on tour. I did see the tickets. I seen the tickets. Them bitches is expensive, but also it's almost like with Beyonce. Essentially, some tickets have to be expensive because you're paying for an experience. You know, both of them niggas about to get up on that stage and put on a fucking show. That's why I'm like, I know this is gonna be good. I know it's gonna be good. And again, this is what the people have been waiting for. I feel as though that could be something that they could do, like a versus type of thing. But I don't know. I don't know. I feel like it again. It should be good. I'm excited about that. Shout out to Chris Brown and Usher. Let's go ahead and get into some music that dropped today. Bossman D-Lo actually dropped an album called Chicken Talking Bastard. I actually might go check that out. Of course, Motion Party is on there. It's a Motion Party. You cannot get in. Don Julio, I don't drink it. Drink it like a slushy. It's the fact, you ever realize that when you keep hearing songs over and over, like, mind you, I've never heard that full song, never, but the fact that I know that part because that's the only part that's keep being played is so fucking crazy. But nonetheless, make sure y'all go check out Bossman D-Lo's new album. Soldier Boy actually just dropped a new album called Drip. I seen somebody talk about Soldier Boy and they said that he makes music for himself. And it and I can't even say nothing because that shit is funny. Like I will say certain songs that Soldier Boy be dropping recently, it do be like, who the fuck are you making this music for? But then we can't forget that he literally did just have a hit like a couple years. Well, he had another recent hit probably like 5 years ago. Remember, like during TikTok, he had the one shit going viral. What was that song? Ooh, what was that? That I totally forgot. But yeah. So shout out to Soldier Boy for still dropping music. I am definitely going to listen to it because I just want to see what it sounds like. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things where is it going to give like old Soldier or is it going to give like the newest Soldier? You know, because new Soldier I really can't get jiggy with. But if it sounds like old, I might be able to do something with it. I'm just keep it a buck. Gucci Man actually dropped a surprise song called "Crash Dummy." Not your best piece of work. I can't say that. But I find it funny because it's one of those things where it's like I see people reacting to it already, and people are like, "Yeah, Gucci, you a snitch, you this, and that, and the third. I can't fuck with Gucci." Then you got people saying like, "You just like," I just don't understand because my thing is this: in the song, he basically talks about how Pooh Shiesty went out his way to try to you tried to backdoor me, you tried to do this and that and third, and you fucking failed. You crash dummy. I feel as though as a grown ass man, eventually that's how you have to look at these little niggas. Like I'm so confused. Like again, this is why I enjoy being a civilian because when you really think about it, the streets ain't nothing but just a bunch of dumb shit. It really is. Like y'all are mad at Gucci because he's literally calling it what it is. You're a crash dummy, sir. And I find it funny, like, I wonder if Pooh Shiesty was signed to somebody white, would he have went this route too? Also, I find it funny that y'all are mad at Gucci for not catering to his artists, but what label ever really does? Like if an artist on a label dies, who since when is labels paying for the funeral, checking up on the like we've never heard that. Literally never. But y'all always expect more when it comes to black people, but expect the bare minimum when it comes to the white. I, I would never understand it, and I'm so glad I'm not in the streets. But at the same time, Gucci, this song is a little trash. Like maybe we can like go back in the studio, redo it a little bit, but the message is still there. You're a fucking crash dummy, and you're signed to me for life now, dummy. Ah, that's exactly what it is. Anyway, Isaiah Rashad has dropped a single after 5 years called "Same Shit." What's crazy is he also just announced an album, if I'm not mistaken, and I think that's coming out sometime in May. I'm super excited about that. I like Isaiah Rashad. I think he's super slept on for the most part. That might just be where I live. He's super slept on, but shout out to him for coming back and giving the people what they want. Speaking of Chris Brown, of course, he just dropped a single called Obvious. And speaking of Kaylani, she also just dropped a new single featuring Missy Elliott called Back and Forth. And I think that is actually going to be on her new album that is coming on April 24th. Well, chat. That is all that I have for you all this week. Like I said, things have been jam packed with a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm hoping I can, get some other episodes going for y'all so we don't miss out on like too much. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, thank you to my first and my last time listeners. Please make sure that you all are liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, and turning on those post notifications because you don't want to miss an episode. We are coming to you every Monday and Friday. All right. Again, like I said, we might be switching some things up. Not too much, but you know, y'all might see more of me. You know. But nonetheless, remember to always be humble, be gracious, and be open. I will see y'all at the top because the bottom is just way too crowded. Bye.